Hey streamers, welcome back to Streamer's Guide. We've got some big news to talk about today, and honestly, this one feels like it could be a turning point for Fire TV users. Amazon has just sent out their official invites for a huge hardware launch event happening September 30th in New York. Now, at first glance, this looks like the usual fall showcase, where they show off the latest Echo speakers, Kindles, maybe some new Alexa-powered devices. But the invite image they put out is sparking a lot of speculation because buried in that teaser are some pretty interesting clues that make people think Fire TV hardware is on the table. And if that's true, it might not just be about new sticks or cubes. This could be the moment we finally see Amazon start rolling out Vega OS, their brand new operating system that we've been warning you guys about for months. So let's break this down step by step, because if you're like me and you've been following this space for a while, you know how big this change could be. First, let's talk about the event itself. September 30th, New York City, Amazon's Fall Lineup Showcase. They do this every year, but this year feels different because the teaser image is split into 4 quadrants, almost like puzzle pieces. The top right corner looks like a smart speaker, probably the next Echo. The bottom right looks like a Kindle, maybe even a new color Kindle. The top left seems like it could be headphones or Echo Buds. Pretty straightforward. But then there's that bottom left corner, and that's where everyone's scratching their heads. Some people think it's an Echo show, others think it's a tablet, but a lot of people, and I'm leaning this way too, believe it's a Fire TV device. It could be a new streaming stick, it could be a Fire TV set, or maybe even the very first device running Amazon's new Vega OS. Now, if you're wondering why Vega OS matters so much, let me catch you up. Back in late 2023, we got word that Amazon was working on a new operating system, moving away from Android completely, not just tweaking Android like they've always done with Fire OS, but scrapping it in favor of something built on Linux, designed in-house, and focused on web-first development. That system is called Vega OS, and what makes it so controversial is that it's not just a background change. Vega OS represents a total shift in how Amazon wants its ecosystem to run. On the plus side, it means devices could be faster, updates could roll out more smoothly, and the whole system could feel more like Apple's ecosystem, tightly controlled but polished. On the downside, and this is the part that longtime Fire TV users are not going to like, it means the end of sideloading. If you've ever installed apps like Kodi, Tivimate, or other third-party tools onto your Firestick, you know how important sideloading has been. Well, Vega OS takes that away. No more APK installs outside of Amazon's own store. By the way, if you're into updates like this and want to stay ahead of what's happening in streaming, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and give the video a like. It really helps keep the channel going. Now, here's why that's relevant to September 30th. The timing just feels right. Amazon has been testing Vega OS internally on Echo devices, things like the Echo Show, for quite a while. We know they're aiming to ship the first Fire TV with Vega in late 2025 and roll it out wider in 2026. But a big event like this is exactly when they'd start laying the groundwork, maybe teasing the first Vega hardware, or even giving developers an early look at what the OS can do. And if you look at how secretive they've been with this invite image, it wouldn't surprise me if that mysterious bottom left corner is hinting at the debut of a Fire TV device that looks the same on the outside, but is totally different on the inside because of Vega. So what does that mean for you right now if you're already using a Fire Stick? Here's the good news. Your current devices won't suddenly switch to Vega overnight. Amazon isn't going to push Vega OS through a forced update to existing Fire Sticks or cubes, at least not based on what we know today. That means if you've got a Fire Stick right now, you can still sideload, you can still use your favorite apps. Nothing changes immediately, but make no mistake, this is the beginning of the end for sideloading on Fire TV, because once new hardware starts shipping with Vega, every year after that will push us further away from the open flexibility we've enjoyed and closer to Amazon's closed ecosystem. Think about how Roku works. You can't sideload apps there either. That's where Amazon is heading, and that's why this September 30th event is so important. It might look like just another product launch, but in reality, it could be Amazon's way of saying, hey, the future of Fire TV is coming, and it's Vega. Now, maybe they don't reveal the whole OS yet. Maybe they just hint at it. but even a small tease would confirm what we've been reporting, that the Firestick you know today will not be the same Firestick a year or two from now. Let me put it in practical terms. Imagine you buy a Firestick this holiday season, and it runs just like you expect with Fire OS and sideloading. Then next year, Amazon releases the next-gen Firestick with Vega OS. Suddenly, your friend buys the newer model and realizes they can't sideload anything. Amazon Store is the only option. That's the split we're heading toward: old devices with freedom, new devices with restrictions. And over time, as those older models age out and people upgrade, sideloading on Fire TV becomes a thing of the past. That's the roadmap. Now, does that mean Vega is all bad? Not necessarily. There's a reason Amazon is doing this. They want more control over performance, they want to tighten security, and they want consistency across all their devices. If you've ever had an app crash or your Fire Stick slow down because of a sketchy sideloaded APK, you can see their point. Vega could fix a lot of those headaches, but at the same time, the flexibility to customize your streaming experience, to install apps that Amazon doesn't want to approve, that's been a huge part of why people love Fire TV in the first place. Taking that away is going to create backlash, no doubt. So here's what I'll be watching for on September 30th. First, any mention of Fire TV hardware. If they announce a new stick, a new cube, or even a Fire TV set, pay attention to what operating system it's running. Second, listen closely to how they describe the software experience. If they start talking about speed, simplicity, or a new foundation, that could be code for Vega. Third, look at the developer side of things. If Amazon hints at new tools for building apps on Fire TV, that's another signal they're laying the path for Vega OS. And of course, we're going to cover the event and break down everything that actually gets announced. But for now, this is your heads up. The invite is out, the speculation is running wild, and all signs point to Amazon using this event to start rolling Vega OS into the conversation. Maybe not a full reveal, but definitely the first step. So let me know what you think. Do you believe September 30th is when Amazon finally shows us Vega? Are you worried about sideloading disappearing? Or do you think this will make Fire Sticks better in the long run, even if it means giving up some freedom? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I really want to hear what the community is feeling about this shift. And if you know someone who uses a Fire Stick or is always tinkering with their setup, share this video with them so they don't miss what's coming. The more of us that know, the better prepared we'll be. And as always, make sure you're subscribed, because once that event wraps, I'll be right here breaking it all down for you with the facts, not just the hype. That's it for now, streamers. Keep an eye on September 30th, because it could mark the beginning of a whole new chapter for Fire TV.